Blog Talk Radio.
Radio.
Peace, everybody. Peace, prosperity, health, and good wealth to everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in to the Truth Tuesday show with your host, Hakeem L, here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. Man, today was an incredible day. You know, it's one of those days where just one thing happens to change, or I wouldn't say change your perspective. It enhances your perspective on things. You know, as much as I talk about, you know, bringing wealth, prosperity, good health, bringing good spiritual information into your life, you know, get spiritual people around you. You know, sometimes you have things that pop up that make you doubt. You know, not make you doubt, you allow yourself to doubt. And just that one thing happens. And you don't even see it coming. It kind of blindsides you. And you be like, wow, this is real. And that happened to me today, you know. And it was incredible. You know, I won't go into details because it's someone's personal business. But what I will say is, I did something. I said something, not knowing what I was saying and why I said it. But what I said stopped something. And when the individual came back to me and told me what I said and how it helped them, how it and I was like, I was just talking. I was being silly when I said that. You know, I was being foolish. And at that time I was just, you know, kidding around, but what I said was so powerful. It had a change and an effect. So that tells me that God is real. This is a real thing we're dealing with. This is a real spirit. God is real in you. It has to be in you. And you have to believe in that, you know. And it was incredible. And all I could do was laugh because it was just so funny. I said, wow. But anyway, I know y'all curious to know what happened, but I can't share that story without their permission. But it was very powerful. You know, and I played Tasha Cobb's song there. I like her as a singer. She's a very powerful singer, and she really brings out the message that she's trying to convey. I know some of y'all not into the whole church and, you know, Jesus and all that, you know. I understand, you know. I understand where you're coming from. But I played music that uplifts me, and that uplifts me because what it says is you want your cup to run over. My cup runneth over. And it keeps me focused on that, keeping my cup running over, keeping abundance in my life, not just abundance on a financial and material level, just an abundance of spiritual knowledge, you know, in me. And I like to share that spiritual knowledge, but mostly it's for me, to keep me strong inside, to activate the powers of God within me so that I can manifest all that is good into my life and manifest good things to people around me. And I like to believe, and I believe that, you know, I do have a good effect on some people, you know, for the most part. Sometimes I can get in my ways and I don't have such good effects, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's positive. And I just want to say thank you to the people that do put up with my quirky ways and my short where I come off as sarcastic and stuff. I appreciate you guys for putting up with that and seeing through the fact that I really am trying to help you. But we have to remember that we are in charge. We are the orchestrators. We are the power in our life. We are making everything happen to us and for us and for everything around us. And we have to take 100% responsibility for that, whether it's something you like or not. We have to. There's no shortcuts to this. There's no shortcut. I ain't going to take responsibility for that. No, we got to take responsibility for 100% of what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, you're going to reap the benefits of whatever you're doing, whether it's good, you like it or not. You're reaping those benefits. So why not think positive, put positive things out there so that you can reap positive things? What you give is what you get, tenfold. That's a science, that's a guarantee. Yesterday morning, I woke up very early, like I always do, and I started reading one of my favorite books, and that is the Bible. And I happened to think about the story of how the birth of Christ and how the wise men came and they gave gifts. And I said, what are these gifts they gave when they came? And I looked into the exoterical, the spiritual, the deeper meaning of what they were giving. And I'm going to share that with you tonight. But also I'm going to share with you guys more stuff on Unsworn Testimony. A brother sent me something yesterday. Brother Ahmed sent me an email with a PDF, and it talks about unsworn statements. And we're continuing with that lesson because it ties into everything that I'm about to show you in this private membership.
It's time for you to live out your purpose. It's not for me to decide what your purpose is. It's for me to just tell you, go for your purpose. Everyone has purpose. Oh, no, I can't think of nothing. No, the reason why you can't think of nothing because your mind is so convoluted with all of the polluted information that you received from the day you was born that it's covering up those treasures, that inheritance that God had for you. That's why I said it's already there. It's just you can't see it because you're looking at what man showed you. As soon as you peel that back, you'll see it. But it takes putting forth God first for you to see it. Then you start opening, wow, I could do this. I could do that. It's like a miracle. Once I get ideas, my mind is motivated on ideas, stuff just pop. My favorite technique to make stuff pop is once I get that first idea, move, stop playing. Too many of y'all playing. Y'all call it planning. I call it playing. Planning and playing seem to be right in the same spelling categories. Move around a few words. I call it playing. Yeah, planning is good in some circumstances, but sometimes you get an idea, you just got to move on it. That's why Christ said, be like these children, and then you can enter the kingdom of heaven. Do you realize that your mind, your brain, this here is a transmitter and a receiver? Your thoughts are energy pulsing out and receiving. Pulsing, subconscious mind is receiving and monitoring everything, taking everything into consideration. And the subconscious mind really doesn't have a filter. It doesn't filter whether true or false. It just takes it in and is constantly looking for information to take in. And so what you're saying to yourself is very important. So if you're saying to yourself things that are not good, not uplifting, the conscious mind, okay, let's find something to make that true. So that transmitter that is going out, it's like a scout. It goes out and look for all of those things that you're talking about in your head. And it goes finds, okay, you want to be wealthy, you want to be rich, and you really want that? Okay, let's find the person or the situation that'll put you in a wealthy and rich situation. You believe all women are bad, all men are bad? Oh, okay, all men are bad. Okay, let's go find the worst guy so that you can hook up with him. Same thing with men. You think all women, the story of today, black women are terrible. That's the narrative that they're trying to promote, that they're promoting. In the physical reality, it may seem true, but in the spiritual reality, it's not true. The only reason why people look a certain way to you or you feel a certain way about someone because you created an image of them in your mind, and that's what you are connected with, and that's the energy and vibration that you're looking for without looking for it, or you think you're not looking for it, and that's what you're gonna see. It will transform in front of you and be exactly what you believe them to be. So if you believe they're bad, they're gonna look bad. You're gonna think bad because you believe they're bad. If you believe they're good, they're gonna transform and they're gonna be good. You came into this world as a winner. So why are you losing now? Because you forgot. You forgot who you are. You forgot your true divinity. You forgot where your true power lies. You place power in people's idea of you and not the power in your truthful idea of yourself. So change the idea of who you are, change your life. Change how you see yourself. Change the idea that you allow external things control what's inside of you. Change the idea that you need people to validate you in order to feel like you're something. I can tell you, if you wait on people to validate you, you might get it here and there, but for the most part, you are going to come up short and feel empty because people don't care about validating your idea of who you are. Most people are selfish. They're thinking about themselves and what they want to do. That's it. A lot of people, of the worldly mindset are selfish within themselves, and they only think about what they want to do, where they want to go. Even if you on your deathbed, they're going to do what they want to do and put you on the back burner. Very few people are chosen or have the ability to put their self aside and go tend to people in their times of need. There's people that do it, but the large majority, the greater number, that natural affection is cooled off. That natural idea, hey, this person needs assistance. Let me stop what I'm doing and go help them. And when you get that, when you get people like that into your life, cherish that. And the people that don't cherish that, you don't have to be upset or feel some kind of way about it. That's what they're doing at that moment. One day they might elevate or change and do better. But don't make room for people like that, because what happens is that will take away from you spiritually. Be of people of like spiritual mind. Be of people that when things get challenging, that they're going to stay right there with you. Or things get challenging, you're going to stay right there with that person. Peace. What's up? What's up? It's Sunday, June the 2nd. June the 2nd. Sunday, June the 2nd. 6 months in. We're in the 6th month of the year. That's why I titled the show Excuses. An uncommitted mind is the one that makes excuses. An uncommitted mind makes excuses. Are you making excuses about why you're not as far as you want to be right now? In this 6th month of the year? Are you making excuses? Yeah, I ain't making the money I want to make because, I had to do this. I had to do that. Yeah, man, I just been tired. My money ain't right. I got all these other responsibilities. I got this job I got to go to. Hakeem, why you mention the job, Hakeem? Yeah, the job you're using that as an excuse. I told y'all how to look at them jobs. Look at your job as a side hustle. The job is a side hustle. Commit yourself to the idea that the job is a side hustle. And the business or whatever you're trying to build is your main hustle, or whatever divine calling you have, that's the main goal. You only have the job to do what? To help pay those bills to get you through to your main hustle. It's part of the journey, part of the process. No, I'm not saying just quit your job and be irresponsible. No, I'm saying once you shift the focus and say that this job is my side hustle and the legacy I'm trying to build is my main hustle, now you're putting your divine purpose in front of you. You're making that number one and not number two. See, that was the mindset that we were given is, go get the education so you can have the job. Let me change it. Go get the miseducation so you can have a job. It's all of that secular education, for the most part, is miseducation. It is. Very rarely will you find someone who goes to college and get an education and then go into the working force that they're truly happy with their life. Because they come out of these colleges with debt. Now they gotta the clock is against them. Because now they have to struggle to pay off that student loan. And see, that's another you could be using as I gotta pay these student loans. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. See, if you're truly committed to your cause, there's nothing that will come in front of you that can stop you from getting it. It might slow you down. You may have to figure a way around an obstacle that you might run into. But for the most part, it will not stop you if you are truly committed. We can't keep making excuses and expect that we're going to progress any further. If something, okay, let's just say that you had a plan to get up this morning to do some things and you didn't do it. Instead of making excuses on why you didn't do it, just when the next time comes to say, you know what, no excuses. The next time I have an opportunity to do this, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let anything distract me. And if you look at some of the things that you're trying to accomplish, one of your main distractions is probably conversations that you're having with people. You allow yourself to get on the phone for a couple of hours, watch a little TV. A lot of procrastination. That's the real obstacle. Because if you really dissect your day down, you could really look at it and say, well, I could do this here, I could do this here. You could fit in those things that you want to do if you cut out some of those extracurricular activities, like idle conversations. If you look at your phone, go look at your phone and look at the talk time that you had with someone over the last few days. Go look at the talk time. And count that time up. And then write that time, write who you talk to. Then go down and write how much time you took to talk to this person. Then after that, write down how important was that conversation. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important? Or was that conversation a conversation pushing the needle forward in your goals and aspirations? See, that's if you really examine that, and I think it's safe to say that even with myself, if I take a lot of these conversations I'm having, I don't need to have these conversations for as long as I'm having them. I really don't, because if I look at some of these conversations, wait a minute, I don't need. We were just talking about nothing over here. We weren't talking about any of the goals that I had on my agenda. Although the conversation might have been stimulating, but if you really pay attention, what what am I doing with my time? And when I'm not on the phone, what am I doing with my time? You'll also find that there's big gaps in your day where you're not doing anything. Then there's people that think they're doing something but really doing nothing. They over here, they over there, and then at the end of the day, they have nothing to show for all of that running around. Think about it. See, it's time to be precise. We're halfway through the year. It's time to be precise and really look at what you are doing with your time so that you can eliminate these excuses you keep making. So that I can eliminate the excuses that I keep making. Look, it's time to look at it. See, you're not going to know, just like your bank account, you're not going to know how much money you got unless you look at that bank account and budget yourself on what you're going to spend. Because if you just keep spending without paying attention to what you actually have, you'll go into the negative. It's the same thing. You have a spiritual bank that you got to keep checking up on. Remember, you have been given a talent. Talent or talents. You have talents. Everyone has them. Remember, I read that story some time ago about the 3 servants. Each of them was given something according to their talent, or as we would say it today, according to their abilities. And then there was one who had one, and he was given that according to his abilities. Then one had 5, and one had 3 or 5. They were all given something according to the abilities, their divine abilities. From who? God gets it here. So you can't sit here and tell me I don't have any. I don't. No, you do have something. The problem you're probably not seeing is because you've been programmed for so long to look at other people's ideas as better than yours. Look at other people as being a business owner, entrepreneur. If you want to be someone who want to change the world and now or help people, you see other people doing that. You want to do it, but you don't see yourself being successful at doing it. See, until you see yourself having or doing the things that you desire, you will never accomplish those things. See, first you got to start with the consciousness. You got to start with the mind and start envisioning. And then once you get the vision, write it down. Make it plain on paper. Make a contract with yourself. Well, think about that. Have you decided to make a contract with yourself to say that I am going to do this by this such and such time? These are the things I'm going to do, and make a commitment to yourself? We walk around and make commitments to everyone else except for ourselves. And this is why we have a lot of excuses, because we have no commitment to ourselves. Every time you put that inspiration off, it shows that you have no commitment to yourself. And you are more committed to whatever else is out there than what God gave you for yourself. Your own divinity. You are more committed to someone else's dream. Don't you realize that's what they wanted us to have? Remember, I talked to you last week about the birthing process, and that whole system was created to distract you, to bring you into this world with trauma. And this is why we deal with so much trauma from the day, because the very first time you hit the world, you were given trauma. So now you're looking for trauma everywhere you go and don't even know it. You inadvertently look for trauma through relationships, through jobs, through friendships, and through the time you even spend with yourself. Well, how do I look for trauma when I'm with by myself? Because you're sitting there dwelling on all the other drama. And that on the drama you're gonna get yourself into with the friends and the relationships and with the jobs. You're contemplating all of that. Somebody pissed you off last week and you're still thinking about that today. Somebody didn't do something that you think they should have done and you're still thinking about that today. Yeah, I know about. I'm on to another tangent, and I was talking about excuses, but this has a lot to do with excuses. Until you make your mind and that eye single, and that what that means is until you focus solely on yourself and how you're projecting your energy out to the world, you will never get where you want to be because you're so busy being somewhere else in your thoughts. See, you over there worrying about what was said over here. You over here because this person didn't do it. You over here because the job is not, they're coming up with these rules you don't like. You're not in here. You're not in here and you're not in here. Saying, I know all of these things are going on. And I'm not particularly pleased with this situation. But how can I make myself better so that I have a better experience today? See, these are the questions. These are the contracts. See, this is how you eliminate excuses. You start writing these things down. How can I make myself a better person? What is it about me that I need to make adjustments to so that the job doesn't seem so stressful or the friendships and the relationships don't seem so stressful? See, we're too busy looking at that person as being the stressor in our life that we are forgetting. Let me say this. Y'all ready? The moment you look at something or someone else as being the problem, let me say it again. The moment you look at something or someone else as being the problem, I'm going to say it again this way. The moment, and I want y'all to repeat after me. Repeat after me. The moment I look at something or someone else as being the problem, say that. Say that. Say that right now. The moment I look at something or someone else as being the problem. Yeah, take that finger. I was pointing at the camera. Let me take it back. The moment me, look at something or someone else as being the problem, in that very moment, say it with me. In that very moment, I am the problem. Oh, I know. Hey. That was a big pill. So I need a drink after that one. That's a big pill. And go ahead, grab your drink, because I know some of y'all need it. Gotta wash that one down. I need another sip because something's stuck right here. Hold on. It's stuck right in there. Mm. Ow. Mm. Still a little stuck. I gotta get another sip. I know some of y'all, yeah, I understand. Yeah, you might need a gallon of water. Chase that one down. That was a hell of a pill to swallow. See, and that's one of our major excuses right there. We blaming everything, everybody, and everybody else for our problems. Why are we experiencing this? Yeah. See, on one hand, I cannot teach you that what I experience in my outside world is something I experience in my inside world, meaning in my own consciousness, I thought these things up and now I'm experiencing them. And see, I can't say that and to be a hypocrite and say, well, it's not my fault. Can't do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. See, you was made in the image and likeness of God. That's your main talent right there, that you are the image and divinity of God. That's your super talent. That's your superpower. Y'all didn't know, some of y'all didn't realize y'all got superpowers. Y'all too busy. Y'all watch the Marvel comics, the DC comics. I love comics when I was coming. I love reading them. Because I was looking at them and I projected myself onto those magazines and I wish I could do that. I wanted to be. I like the one Cyclops from the X-Men. I like that. He had to get zzz, and could zap everything. That was out of the X-Men. That was probably my favorite character. That's why I was disappointed when they didn't really highlight his character when it came out the movies. Wolverine was my least favorite character. And Rogue was a good one. And Storm. She was my favorite. Yeah, I'm talking about Marvel. I'm talking about all these superpowers. All of these characters that I wanted to identify with. And all the while, I had the superpower. I come from the place where all of these ideas come from. The super consciousness, God. And then God made me in his image and likeness. So now I have the same powers of creation. I have the same powers to build up. But first, I must build up myself. Do you know when God decided to create, he was creating more of himself? He was doing more of a self-improvement of himself. So you are an extension of God. So you are an improvement, an extension. This is why you have these superpowers. This is why you have these talents. Stop believing in what education told you. Stop believing in what the news is trying to tell you. The political parties and the social agendas. Stop believing all of that. You need to go right within yourself and realize who you really are. That's it. Stop making excuses. Well, I was born to a poor family. Oh, I was traumatized as a kid, and all of these other things happened to me. I'm not making light of anybody's personal situation, but the reality, the truth of it is that happened then. It no longer exists. And the only way it keeps existing is through your remembrance and your constant repetitive remembering it and talking about it. Talk about a new thing. It was let me see something. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find it. I got something I want to read out of Sirach, my one of the books that they took out of the Bible. I'll read that later. I'll do it on my closing. But we're gonna go to Revelation. Revelations, the book very few preachers want to touch. I've been saying for years, I'm going to touch this. But the ancestor says, slow down. Not yet. Give them some milk first. Give them that formula. Give them some of that breast milk first. They don't give them the steak and potatoes and the hard food. Not yet. Not yet. Some of y'all might be able to grasp it. Some, just ain't ready. So we're gonna go to Revelation chapter 21. And what verse is this I'm looking at here? I'm gonna start at the beginning. Because this Revelations, a lot of stuff already happened. I know they say this is the ending of it, but this is the beginning. This should be before Genesis. Revelation should be before Genesis. A lot of this stuff already happened in Genesis. Just give you a breakdown. Genesis is what happened after this planet got destroyed by the war between Michael and what they call Satan. They have different names. We'll go into that. Yeah. See, they gave you what already happened and say it will happen. See, this Revelations describes exactly, because this planet was totally destroyed. And this actually, the Earth did not exist. It was a bigger planet called Tiamat. And because of the war and destruction broke off, and the magnetic fields and the pulled it together, and the gravitational let me, based on, because I am a student of Terrence Howard now, based on the electrical pull, pulled all this stuff together. The electrical, how he explains it. And I would have to agree with some of the stuff he said. But Revelations chapter 21 says this. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. Now, I want you to read this with in mind that this is talking about you. This is a symbolism, esoterical, metaphysical story about your consciousness. And how the heaven in your mind that you created must become a new one. Your ideas of what's good must become new, right? And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, see, the home of God is among mortals. He will dwell with them as their God, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them. See, God is always with you. He's in you. He will wipe out every tear of their eyes. Death will be no more. See, what does that mean? That God consciousness arrives in you, comes and be amongst you to wipe away what? All of the pain, all of the past traumas that you experience. And what does it mean to wipe? When you wipe something away, is to see it no more, to remember it anymore, to let it go, cleanse it, wipe it away. So those past trauma, those ideas of the mistakes you made, or you believe they're mistakes, the bad ideas you've given yourself, you must get rid of that and create a new heaven, a new consciousness in you. Death will be no mourning, crying, pain will be no more, for the first things have passed away. So you have to let all of that stuff go. So right now in your minds, look at all of this stuff that's bothering you. Just take a peek at it. And then say to yourself, it no longer exists. I will not, from this point forward, pay attention to that. Like Peter paid attention to the storm when he was trying to walk on water. I will not pay attention to these storms. All these things that's rising up around you, don't pay attention to it. And then right from that moment, I am a new divine being consciously, and see and hold on to those things that you desire and pay attention to that. See, I could go into this, but then Revelation be getting deep. So I just want to start there, because it gets deep to talk about all these different characters. But before I shut it down, I was, as I was perusing through the book and I flipped and I ended up on Sirach. Sirach. I don't know if y'all can see that. Sirach. Sirach. And I was reading chapter 3, where I have the circle right there. Right there. I had it kind of outlined. I write in my Bible, by the way. And it says, listen to me, your father. Listen to me, your father, O children. Act accordingly that you may be kept in safety. For the Lord honors a father above his children, and he confirms a mother's right over her children. So equally, mothers and fathers are important. Those who honor their father atone for sins, and those who respect their mother are like those who lay up treasures. So it's saying those who honor their fathers atone for sins. And see, in this day and age, I'm on something else. Fathers are disrespected. They not even considered in a lot of situations. See, it's telling you how to have a successful life. These books, these ancient books are telling you. And if you don't pay attention to what they're saying, this is why we have the turmoil, the drama, and the turmoils in our homes. It says, those who honor their father will have joy in their own children. So if you don't honor your father, you're gonna have problems with your children. And when they pray, they will be heard. So if you're not honoring your father, it's saying you pray, your prayers will not be heard. Maybe that's why some things are not working. Are you truly honoring your father? And some of y'all might make an excuse. We back to excuses. Oh, he wasn't this. He wasn't that. He didn't do nothing for me. He passed judgment. It doesn't say that the father has to be perfect for you to honor and be respectful. See, just because someone doesn't do right doesn't mean you have to do wrong right along with them. It's called having character, having a sense of purpose. And our sense of purpose is to uphold our honor and our respect no matter what the situation is. Your father, if he wasn't there, he didn't participate in the upbringing of you, or he was just downright not a good person, you still have to remain honorable. You still really are required to do that. And see, some people have gone. I've known people that go out of their way. Oh, because he this, I'm not doing this, and they stick their chest out. That's judgment. And even in our situations, you might have problems in your home with your wife, your husband, and you stick your chest out. Oh no, I'm not doing that because he did this and she did that. So that means you are not committed to being an honorable person because why? Through the storms, you're supposed to remain steady. This is why people show up in our lives and gives us problems because that's a check to see how steady you're going to be. Are you going to see? No one's talking about take abuse and all kind of craziness. What we're saying is you still keep your character and operate in a honorable way. Those who respect their father will have long life, and those who honor their mother obey the Lord, and they will serve their parents as their masters. Honor your father by word and deed, and his blessings may come upon you. For a father's blessing strengthens the houses of children, but the mother's curse uproots their foundations. Do not glorify yourself by dishonoring your father, for your father's dishonor is no glory to you. So all of these people who run around, my daddy did, and just did straight dishonor them, hey, just you bring destruction upon yourself. The glory of one's father is one's own glory, and it is a disgrace for children not to respect their mother. My child, help your father in his old age, and do not grieve him as long as he lives. Even if his mind fails, be patient with him, because you have all your faculties, do you not, despite him? For kindness to a father will not be forgotten and will be credited to you against your sins. So it's saying being kind to your father actually repels back some of your sins. And in the day of your distress, it will be remembered in your favor. Like frost and fair weather, your sins will melt away. Whoever forsakes a father is like a blasphemer, and whoever angers a mother is cursed by the Lord. Wow. I see why they took this out of the Bible. I just thought I'd read that. That was a little different. But it also goes along, no excuses. It's not your job to be judging anyone. It's your job just to be respectful and honor, no matter what. All righty. What time is it? 10:47. I'm gonna shut it down. I think I did my job. Let's see. Let me go to the chat. I didn't go into the chat and shout out my peoples out there. It says from Indie Circle Ministry. Peace, my brother. Peace. Someone's asking, could they call in? No, not as yet. I'm gonna fix that. It's when I had to call in, no one could hear the other caller, so I have to figure that out. On how I can get, the people to hear the guest. And I just said, just leave a comment here if you had something to say. DJ JOJ says, peace Sunday service. Fred Mitchell has thumbs up. Agnes Ford says, peace. Contract with ourselves, right? Need a contract with yourself. Make a contract, write it down. We'll sign a contract to somebody else so fast. Make a commitment to yourself, not just words. Write it down. Talk to yourself. The moment I look at something or someone else has a problem, in that moment, I'm the problem. Yep. Yep. Because you're perpetuating the problem. Doctor Strange is my favorite. His mind is his superpower. Yeah. And In La Vida says, peace to all. All right. With that being said, y'all, I'm going to end it right here. And until Tuesday. I'm sorry I missed Tuesday's show. Got caught up, and I was a little tired at the same time. With that being said, peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to everyone. Have a rest of your day. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio.
I represent it.
The information station changing the nation.